Assalamu alaikum. This is Arooj Muzaffar from the Department of English Institute of Southern Punjab. We were discussing the lectures of functional English, and previously we have dealt with some ideas of conventional English and communicative English. We have discussed that communicative grammar and communicative function of English is so much different from the conservative patterns from which we have been studying English since ages. We have come to know of this idea that reading and remembering are two different things. We have come to know that speaking and writing are two different categories, and now today's lecture is about an idea which is an emblem of traditional and communicative grammar. So, hello everyone and a very good day to all of you. I hope you are doing great and ready for the exciting journey into the world of learning. Today, we are diving into further exploration of our chapter number 1, which is Foundation of Functional English. The warm-up questions regarding this chapter are that if you are so much bored and tired of writing sentences that feel so flat and uninspired, so get ready to unlock the secret architecture of language and transform your writing. Learning sentence structure is not just about identifying parts of a sentence, it's about mastering the art of variety, rhythm and impact. Imagine having the power to craft sentences that build tension, connect complex ideas and flow seamlessly, just like a master storyteller or a persuasive speaker. Well, this is about an idea that communication and sentence patterns are two different things. We are going to have an analysis of the communicative patterns and the complex ideas that rule behind the conservative patterns of making society. We are going to build simple elegance of a simple sentence, the powerful connections of a compound sentence, the sophisticated depth of a complex sentence and the comprehensive reach of a compound complex sentence. By understanding these building blocks, you will be able to communicate with greater clarity, style and confidence, turning ordinary ideas into compelling expressions, which is going to make your communication more persuasive, convincing and confident. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to have the ability to express complex thoughts and relationships between ideas clearly, avoiding awkward or confusing sentences. Of course, you will have the skill to write or speak with a more engaging and dynamic rhythm, using different sentence types to prevent a monotonous tone, have the power to organize information logically and connect different ideas smoothly, ensuring the message is both coherent and compelling. So, this is all about the benefits that you are going to achieve after this lecture. You will have an understanding of how to use specific sentence structures to achieve different effects, such as building suspense with a series of simple sentences or conveying sophisticated arguments with complex sentences. You will have a strong foundation for editing one's own work, your own work, or recognizing and correcting errors in sentence construction and flow. So, let us dive into the composition of sentences. Sentences are basically of three types, which are simple, compound and complex. There is another type as well, which is complex and compound composition, that is called compound complex sentence. Initially, we are going to deal with the first type of sentence, which is simple sentence. A simple sentence contains one independent clause. It has a single subject and a single verb. That single verb may be called verb phrase and expresses one complete thought despite the name. A simple sentence can be quite long if it has multiple modifiers or phrases that have been dealt previously in our previous lecture. The key is that it contains only one subject verb pair that forms a complete thought. Let's discuss it with the help of an example. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. One independent clause, one subject fox and one verb jumps. The other type of sentence, which is compound sentence. A compound sentence contains at least two independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, or semicolon. Both clauses could stand alone as separate sentences and they are of equal importance. The conjunction links them to show a relationship between ideas. Let's revise it. The simple sentence was the sentence which was about making a sentence on a simple pattern where there was just one clause used, while the compound sentence is the sentence in which two clauses have been joined together with the help of a conjunction, and in this way we can identify that if one independent and the other dependent clause are joined together with the help of a conjunction, we can identify that this is a compound sentence. Let's discuss it with the help of an example. The team practiced hard, but they still lost the game. There are two independent clauses. The team practiced hard is a complete independent clause that conveys the complete idea, and they still lost the game. It is once again another independent clause which conveys the complete idea. What does this mean? That two independent clauses that convey the complete idea on their own, they can stand independently. They are joined by the conjunction and that conjunction is but. This means that when two independent clauses are joined together, they are called compound sentence. The other category of sentence, which is the final category of sentence and is sometimes considered complex because of its name, is the complex sentence. A complex sentence contains one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. The dependent clause is also called the subordinate clause. A dependent clause cannot stand alone as a complete sentence and is introduced by a subordinating conjunction. For example, because, since, although, while, or a relative pronoun like who, which, that. This structure is used to show a more nuanced relationship between ideas, often with one idea being subordinate to the other. Let's stop here and think that what is the difference between compound and a complex sentence. Compound sentence was about joining two independent clauses which could stand on their own. But first we need to understand that what is the idea of clause. Clause means the part of a sentence which carries a subject and a predicate and it can stand on its own, it can convey a complete idea. So, compound sentence is the sentence in which two independent clauses can stand together and when they are joined into a sentence with the help of a conjunction, they convey a complete sense, and separately too they can convey the complete sense. But in the complex sentence, the idea is thoroughly different. Here there is one clause which is independent and the other which is dependent. Dependent means it cannot stand on its own, rather it has to get the meaning complete or furnished from the help of the other clause. So, discuss it with the help of an example. Although it was raining, can we convey it, can we complete this sentence? Yeah, can we get the complete meaning if we complete it here, although it was raining? No, the idea is not complete because the word although is saying that there is some part in the other portion of a sentence which is missing. So, we have to complete it by adding the further part. We decided to go for a walk. What does this mean? That this is an independent clause. So, one independent and two dependent clauses are joined together and they make a complex sentence. We decided to go for a walk and one dependent clause, although it was raining. Okay? So, the next category of a sentence is compound complex sentence, which is the fourth category of the sentence type. A compound complex sentence contains at least two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. This structure combines the feature of both a compound and a complex sentence, allowing for the expression of multiple interconnected ideas within a single sentence. It is the most sophisticated of four types and is useful for conveying detailed and intricate information. Let us discuss it with the help of another example. Because the weather was so beautiful, we went to the park and we had a picnic there. Here, there is one dependent clause, which is because the weather was so beautiful, and two independent clauses. We went to the park and we had a picnic there, which are joined by and. So, let us have a summary of all these four types of sentences. What we learned today, that there are four types of sentences. First one is simple sentence, which can be called a clause. It can be lengthy, it can be small, it is joined by a simple idea and conveys the complete sense. Then the second category is compound sentence, which is joining of two independent clauses together. They can be separated and they can have their own meaning when they are separated. There is no compulsion, or there is no idea that if they are standing on their own, they are not having the complete sense. They can have their complete sense independently, but when they are combined together, the type of that sentence is called compound sentence. The other category, which was the third category of the sentence, was complex sentence, where there was one independent clause and a dependent clause. Here, dependent clause was dependent on the independent portion of the sentence to have the complete meanings. Without it, that was not conveying the complete idea. The dependent portion needed the independent portion to convey the complete sense and to convey the complete meaning. The other type was compound complex sentence. That was once again about the idea that there were two independent clauses that were joined with a dependent clause. The two independent clauses could be separated and they could have the same their own independent surviving and their own meaning separately, but when they are joined together with one dependent clause, that is compound complex sentence. So, basically we are learning this type of sentence, so our communicative grammar can get its shape and we can have a better idea that what is it about. We can make our sentences in our spoken, in our communication and in our writing very effectively if we are familiar with what idea we are carrying. We will be having a good grip over the sentences if we are having the idea that the sentence that we are making is basically based on which pattern. Now, after this lecture, you will be able to identify that if you are writing or speaking, the idea that you are using is based upon which pattern. Either the sentence that you are making is simple or compound or complex or a compound complex sentence. Hopefully, I have made it easy with a combination of describing this idea by defining, of course, the pattern, which is the understanding of the word clause. And still, if you get any query or if you have any question, you can have the further exploration of it and you can have an activity performed on your own in your any book of your choice. You can have a book from your course, you can have any book of fiction, and then when you read a sentence, try to identify that this sentence belongs to which category. And I hope this activity and this task is going to be very joyful and fun, along with giving you a glimpse of this learning as well. Thank you so much.